Hi, I'm Joe DeLamielleure, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and this is ProAthlete360.com.
And I'll tell you a thing I love these bands for, and it's really big on injury prevention, and I don't want to get like super technical, but most of the, especially in female athletes, but in most athletes, the mechanism for injury, meaning the way you get hurt, is decelerating through a movement. So, you know, you see it all the time. You'll see a guy stop like this and his knee buckles, and it doesn't look like a big deal, but the guy tore his ACL, or a female tore her ACL. So what adding this band to it is able to help you decelerate because it's pulling you forward. You're eventually going to learn how to break your body down safely and really efficiently, where you're going to get quick change in direction. So what we'll do is link two bands and do just different movement stuff. And the idea to get as much resistance, I know a lot of kids, first thing you want to do is, oh, how far can I stretch this thing? Well, it's a rubber band. I mean, it's common sense. If you stretch it really far, it's going to eventually break, and that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to work to your maximum workload in a small amount of time and in a small amount of space. So you'll do everything. So basically what you're getting with the band is you're going to get to work on your acceleration, because you're going to have to fight the band to accelerate, but then you're going to work on your deceleration because you're going to have to fight the band to stop. And what you'll see is you're going to naturally start to learn how to get in that athletic position of bending your knees, because if you don't, you're going to be like this all the time. The band's going to have you out of control. So what we like to use it for is all kinds of movement patterns. You know, if you're any athlete, you're going to have to back pedal and break forward. So we'll back pedal, break forward, but learn to stop, where you can stop on a dime and be going the other way. You know, basketball, football, anything, you got to have lateral movement. Same thing, where you can stop yourself, and you get really quick doing this stuff. I spoke about it inside when I came out of college. You know, I was running 4.75, and which, you know, isn't a great time. Well, at 30 years old, 28, 29, 30 years old, when I was going to play in this other league, I'm running low 4.6s. The only thing I changed is I started using this, learning how to train, stretch, all that stuff. So, I mean, it's pretty much up to your own imagination how you want to use these. Just show you lateral movement. You can do skater jumps for the same thing. It's deceleration. Learn how to plant, push off that back foot, and basically just control your body. You're gonna get really explosive really quick, and anybody can do this. You'd be 8 or 10 years old and do this stuff. Some of the deceleration drills, like what I was talking about, I talked real briefly about the ACL tears, mainly in female athletes, because they're just angles of their hips and stuff. There's a little bit of difference in their anatomy that makes them a little more susceptible to things. And it's most of the time it's something, unless, I mean, obviously if somebody hits you at an angle and it's, you know, there are injuries that occur that are pretty hard to prevent. But in terms of, you see them all the time. You see guys go down with an ACL. Who was it? West Virginia kid got hurt in the Elite 8. Nobody touched him. He planted, he changed directions, and he didn't, it's a deceleration injury. So, like I said, the first thing you got to do before, when you're learning to change direction, first thing you got to learn to do is stop. You know, most kids worry about, I gotta accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. You gotta decelerate. You can't change directions if you never stop. So if you're moving right to left, it's such a simple drill. It's just like a skater, you know, you call them a skater jump, but you're learning how to absorb a impact on your inside leg. All you're doing is just going from your outside foot to jump here. I'm already off balance, but you jump out, and when you come back, boom, just stop yourself and hold it for a second. And pretty soon you're gonna learn how to absorb that and stay in an athletic stance, where you're not tweaked this way, your shoulders are in alignment with your hips, and you're in a good position to change direction, but you're also protecting your body. So there are things like that where you're jumping, and like I said before, all this stuff with a little bit of resistance is deceleration. So you accelerate out, when you come back, you gotta stop before you can go out again. So you learn to do that quickly, and that band is just giving you that little bit of resistance where it's gonna make you get a little lower, get under a little more control. Then you take it off, all of a sudden your body is doing it on its own. You don't think about it. It's, they call it proprioception, like which basically is a fancy word for your body's awareness. It's spatial awareness. You learn to stop, you learn to get in positions that are gonna prevent injuries. Most coaches will tell you they're not worried about how fast you can run, they're worried about how fast you can run, stop, and start again. That's the key, because I mean, there is no sport except sprinting that you're just, boom, straight line, fast as you can go. It's all being able to move different directions, and like I said, you can get super specific with this stuff. You know, if you're a basketball coach, you're gonna think of some drills that me having a football background I'm not going to think of.